becoming a filmmaker? And when you said to your parents, like, I want to become a filmmaker, what was their reaction?
uh, this is a little different for from a lot of other people who have a lot of difficulty in confronting with such uh, you know uncommon uh, dreams of for future. For me it was quite good. Like I my parents were very kind to me, and even when I had decided to I was doing theater, and they were the ones who had, although they don't come from any such backgrounds of from any cultural background or cinema background, interested to um, make me participate in different kind of activities. So I was in theater for a very very long time. I was doing children theater, and I think when I was in class 8, I had decided that I wanted to be a film director. And yeah, my parents have always been very 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 kind and very supportive of it. You know, always till today they are very supportive.
Mm, brilliant. So you have gone to SRFTI. So what was your experience there? And before that, have you done like any other course like engineering or something?
I was into engineering. I did engineering for my graduation, and SRFTI has been a very, very intense experience, to say the least. You know, SRFTI is the place where I actually, started knowing about how to find myself. The search is still on, but at least the way to how to actually understand about my own self rather than the outside world, looking inside then looking outside. That I think came from the company I had in SRFTI and the whole environment of a film school like SRFTI. It gives you that. It was very, very, very beautiful. Very beautiful.
So one question, like you knew you wanted to become a filmmaker, so why you opted for engineering?
That was very accidental. For getting into SRFTI, we have to do our graduation. So I was trying to do general graduation, but the colleges where I got admission, I one college I was not getting a specialization, and another college I didn't get admission. So suddenly this opportunity came where I could study in Girijananda Institute of Management and Technology. It's an engineering institute in Assam, and they had a government quota, so I could study in government fees, although it was a private institute. So it was a very although it was a government, it was like a government fee, so it was very less, very 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 less. Almost 40,000 for the whole of 4 years of engineering. So I decided that anyways I have to do a graduation, so why not engineering? And it really helped. It really helped.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. So let's talk about your short film, The Horse from Heaven. So the idea originated from an encounter at your grandmother's funeral. So what drew you to translate that real life moment into a cinematic narrative?
I don't know. For me, it has always been the case. I feel that whenever I'm trying to make a film, I always, now it has happened, now it has become a habit. Before it was curiosity. I always used to look at what is happening around me, what is happening with me, what am I feeling at this moment. So most of the films actually become like a, you know, like a letter to myself, to my older self. Maybe when I am much older, one day when I look at my film, I'll understand what I was going through at that point of time, that age that I was growing. It's something like that. So whenever I encounter something, it's sometimes it's just a feeling. It's just a very very personal feeling that clicks you, like, oh, this is like a film. It's just a feeling that comes from inside, that whatever just happened in front of my eyes, it just feels like a film. Like if I showed it on a screen, people can't imagine that this can happen, you know. So that feeling when it comes, most of the time, that is how, for me, films have uh, happened. You know, the stories have happened for me in that way for almost all of my films.
Got it. Was it a like a SRFTI? Like, you were making this film during your course?
Yeah, actually, all of my films, not all of them, but most of the films that I have made and most of the films which have been to festivals and things like that, all have been my SRFTI projects since my, first project that I made. And then I made a long take exercise called Kan Fus Fusat Fus Fusoni. The English name is Poetry of Whispers. That also was a SRFTI project, and Horse from Heaven was our second year final project. Then I made a documentary called Flowers in a Hailstorm, which also was in a very good festival in Japan last year. Uh, yeah, and then now Kok Kok Kokoook, which is my final dissertation film at SRFTI. I cannot be grateful enough to SRFTI, man. And all of this have happened because of people in SRFTI.
So your short film won the top prize at the Bangalore International Short Film Festival, qualifying for the Oscar consideration. So how did the recognition impact your confidence and your artistic direction, like your vision as a director?
It was a great experience, but it really helped me a lot in terms of get these kind of recognitions are it doesn't prove anything about myself to me. Whatever I am, I know what I am and what I think and how I think, how much valuable or invaluable or unvaluable how my thoughts or my myself I am. I know about it very well. But when some recognitions come, no, then it definitely gives us a confidence. But more than that, it really helps us to make the next films that we want to make. This is not just one film, no, that we want to make. Like when I made this new film, there were so many people who helped us in Assam, and they knew me and they had this confidence that because he made that film, now when he's making his next film in Assam, maybe we should help him. That kind of attitude was always there from everybody in Assam. That happened because of my short film, because it went to Oscars. I got quite good attention at that time. The film also went to win the best film in VGIK in Moscow, which is a very prestigious thing for me, because VGIK is the oldest film school in the world. We used to study about VGIK in SRFTI first year and how it came about and the people who established VGIK and all that. So I think that is a bigger achievement for me in terms of that. For me personally, I feel that that is a bigger achievement in that sense. But the Oscar thing really gave me a lot of attention from people back home in Assam and even other places in India. So that really helps in that way.
Okay, brilliant. So let's talk about your latest film, Kok Kok Kokoook. So,
Yeah.
like, how did you find the producers for the film? Like, was it SRFTI money or like did you find producers?
It is SRFTI money. It is produced. Yeah, it is produced by SRFTI. We are supposed to make a final year dissertation film. SRFTI gives us a particular amount of money to all the 12 directors who are there in the batch. So there are 12 directors selected every year, and there like 10 of them are generally from India and two of them are international. For us, there were 11 Indian directors and one international director. So all of them get this particular amount of money to generally make a short film. But it just happened that our short film grew into a longer film and it became a feature film. And so the journey starts from Busan. But yeah, it is SRFTI who produced the film. There is a producer who is my batchmate, Nazmul SM Nazmul Haq. He's from Bangladesh. He's a student producer from SRFTI who is my crewmate. Who is like there are like five people in the batch who team up, one from each department. So there is a cinematographer, Shinkhanu Marma. Then he's from Bangladesh as well. Then there is Sadang Arangham. He's from Arunachal Pradesh. He's in editing. Arnab Bora. He's from Assam. Arnab and I have collaborated in almost all of my films in SRFTF. He's in sound. So all of these five people, we collaborate together to make the film, and it is produced by SRFTI. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So, like, how the idea came for the story, and if you can, in summary, you can also tell a little bit about the story itself.
The idea actually mm, came from a lot of different things that keep happening in life, but the most important parts of the idea, it's like for this idea, what happened was it has different elements which came in into the film with different experiences that I had at different point in time. Not like that experience in short film, which was one incident that I thought about again and again, and it became a film. For this film, there were lots of incidents. The first incident that happened was that one day, I heard that there was an accident near my house, and apparently somebody died in that experience, in that accident, and we all heard about it. It had it was like a local rumor news kind of mixed conversation everywhere in our area. Everybody was talking about it, and I observed that there was a bike. Uh, I think it was a Pulsar or something. It was parked just in front of my house. For 2 3 days, it was just parked there, and eventually somebody came up with this news that that bike was actually that belonged to the person who did the accident. That bike is the bike which did the accident and killed the person. So that bike just lied there for a very, very long time. And I kept thinking, nobody came to look for the bike. Neither the owners, neither the people who, the person who was dead, anyone related to him, nor the police. Nobody came looking for the bike. It was just lying there for a very, very long time, probably like 20 days, 25 days. It was just lying there. Everybody, it was like everybody in the area knew that this bike belongs to the, it is related to that accident. But nobody told the police. Nobody escalated this in any way. Just the bike remained, and I kept looking at the bike, and just this thought of how that bike was kind of, a symbolic representation of, it was like a, murder weapon in a way. It's not a murder weapon as such. It was an accident, but then somebody was killed, and somebody ran away after the accident. So it was kind of like a murder weapon that was lying in front of everyone's eyes, and nobody looked at it. So I kept thinking about that, and that's how I thought of how a person can, who loves his bike, and then this happens to this accident happens, and how he can discard his beloved bike. And so the story came from that. Yeah, that was the first incident where it all sparked from.
Brilliant, brilliant. So it was shot in like Assam or like somewhere.
Yes, it was shot in Assam, and in Borbari, where I live. This is my area, and we shot it very nearby places in and around Guwahati. Yeah.
So do SRFTI like have any restriction like you can't go to this place, you can't go.
No, for the diploma film, we don't have the restriction, unlike FTI. FTI has that restriction. For SRFTI, we don't have the restriction of the radius of shooting the film. We can go to our own places and shoot the film. They give us a lump sum amount of money, and yeah, very limited amount of money, but that is what we make the film with. But but anywhere we can go anywhere.
So how big was the crew and how much time like it took to complete the film from like initial idea to completing the film?
To
Is it
complete the
complete now?
film. Initial idea, it's like I don't even remember how long I have been thinking about this idea. It's a very, very long period, but it always used to be a very short film in my mind in the beginning. Then things got attached, and then I thought of different things. New characters emerged, and it it all changed completely because um, this period when I was working on this film was also a very transitional period for my own self as well. I was also going through a lot of things. And I also went through a very difficult breakup, and then I was trying to cope up with that. And slowly and slowly things started revealing in a very different way to me. So I also was kind of growing with the film. So that journey is there in the film as well. So the film also is not just the story of chicken seller. The chicken seller, his name is Chicken, whose bike uh, is in the story. The story is about him and the bike. So but it was also about me and my identity. So yeah, it was like that. I just kept uh, different at different point in time. I was going through um, very mixed emotions. And yeah, it happened like that. This whole story, it took a long time. It started probably during 2022 maybe. And it went on, and I seriously started working on it, that I am going to make it as my diploma maybe in 2023 end. And we shot the film in 2024, but we finished it now. So it took a long time to finish the film as well, because of a lot of things that was going on. Because we all were a COVID batch, and we had a very extended time in SRFTI. So yeah, so that impacted the timeline. So it took around 1 year after the shoot to finish it.
Okay. So how was the casting process like? Were there actors, non-actors, professionals?
Yeah, there were a lot of actors. Most of them are actors, except so the main actor in our film is Raju Roy, who is a NSD graduate. He graduated from NSD, I think, in 2008 or 9, I think. He's a brilliant actor. He's a brilliant actor from Assam. And um, so he's the protagonist. Siken is his character. Rajuda is, of course, he has been acting in a lot of films, but this is the first film where he acts in the lead role. And then there is Esther Paulino Kenny. She's from South Sudan. She was a student in India at that time when we were shooting. Now she's back home. Esther was is a non-actor. We wanted a African actress in the film, and uh, while looking around for a and casting through a lot of other options, we finally got Esther, who is a non-actor, but she has a brilliant presence, and she adds up so much to the film. So yeah, Esther is there. Then there are very old, experienced, and famous actors like Manik Roy, Siddhartha Mukherjee. They are like in Assam. They are really famous and have been working for a very very long time. And there are newer actors as well who have worked with us. So it's a it's a brilliant opportunity to work with all of these people.
Okay, great.
Oh, I must mention that the casting was done by Suruz Kolita, who also acts in the film for in a small scene, but he did the whole casting. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to mention that.
So while making the film, completing the film, what was the like most difficult challenge you faced?
While making the film, every film, whenever a filmmaker has to make a film, it's full of difficulties. Everybody goes through so much of difficult things, so much of hazards. It's I think in that sense I was quite lucky because I had this amazing cast and crew with me. They were really supportive. They really believed in the film I was trying to make. And everybody was it was their film. Everybody really supported. Very bizarre things can happen when you are shooting in a place like Assam, where the industry is not that professional in that sense. They don't a lot of houses and places, they don't understand the importance of the shoot time. Like for example, when on the first day of shoot, we had we had like booked a gimbal. So the whole shoot was supposed to happen on gimbal. Um, for people who might not understand, gimbal is the equipment through which we can have stable, steady shots. So we had booked it. So the gimbal firstly didn't come at 6 o'clock in the morning when we were supposed to roll. It didn't come. So finally, we got a call, and like we were trying to call them, and I think at 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock, they received our call and they sent the gimbal by 9 o'clock. So we had lost 3 hours, which was fine. The 3 hours gone for the first day. We had a lighter shoot, it was fine. But then then they realized that they didn't bring the base plate. So it was this much of a thing. So they didn't have the base plate. So they got the base plate by around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so we had to move on with that. Like we had to figure out. So Shinkanu, our DOP, was quite you know he's very accommodative, and he has a very good vision. He has a very nice vision about the film. He's really connected to the idea very well. He was working with me for 2 months before the shoot on the script. So he accommodated with whatever was happening. Once we had booked Jimmy Jeep. It's another equipment. So it's a bigger equipment. We shot with very minimum lights, and because of the budget constraints and everything, so we had to shoot with very minimal lights. And we were fine with it. So Shinkanu had only asked for one expensive equipment for one day, and that was a Jimmy Jeep. Our DOP Shinkanu, he had asked for one, and we were like, we calculated a lot, me and Nazmul, our producer, and we somehow fitted all the budget, and we arranged for it. We booked it. Everything was fine. Tomorrow is the shoot, and tonight we come to know that that Jimmy Jeep was sent to Zubin Garg's. Zubin Garg, right? Our very famous singer in Assam. So one of his shoot, that Jimmy Jeep was sent to his shoot. So what to do after that? You can't even shout at them. They don't have it. So yeah, we again had to accommodate with it and all of that. It was quite a difficult shoot because of the constraints of money and time, which is the most important things in a shoot. But everybody was so helpful that it's almost I can never be thankful enough to these people, man. So that's why it was possible to shoot this long film.
Brilliant, brilliant. After so much hard work, like now the film is going to be shown in Busan in Vision section.
Yeah.
So how nervous are you? How excited are you for the film? Like first of all, like
Yeah.
how you got the film into Busan as well. Like
A film went to Busan. Generally, it's we had submitted like normally, but yes, we had one very important person with us. It was Dominic Sangma. For those who by chance don't know him, he's a yeah, Rapture and Mama are his two feature films. He's my senior from SRFTI, and in this film, he is our creative mentor. He championed our film. He has been supporting us like anything, throughout the throughout the process. I call him sensei now because he has been like a he has been mentoring me since my first film in SRFTI, and even then, like he has always been there. And this time he was really really supportive. A lot of times what happens is when you make a film that um, is a little different than other films. That's how I can put it. It's a little different from most of the films that we watch. So what happens is there are lots of doubts that we can have as makers. So self doubts, and we know that we have tried honestly, but it's not uh, it is not you don't know what will click in any festival circuit. You don't know what will click and what will not. So I was very confused and very nervous for a long time. And Dominic, really, when he watched it, he told us, me and my editor, that it's amazing, it's a good, really good cut, I really love the film. When he said that, I was like, that is when we got the confidence that okay, now we have something. It's not bullshit, it's not whatever we are saying, it's not becoming useless, it has a value. So after that, he has helped us to write to festivals, and he has also recommended to people who might like our film. In that way, he has supported us a lot. And yeah, so that's so we were helped for Busan. Dominic was there. Then there is Kyoko. She's from Japan. She's a very kind lady, and she also kind of helped us to go to Busan. It's a very long process, but it's a you feel that people are so helpful when they believe in your film, and that is very important. It's not that it is my film, that's why Dominic helped us, or other people helped us. It's because they really believed in the film. That is the most important thing, isn't it? Like, it is not like a personal just personal favor. It's not just a personal favor you are asking, or it's not like that. It's more of a it's more like, okay, this person who has seen so much, who has been to so many places, who has made films that I really admire, likes my film. So that in itself gives so much of confidence. And yeah, so that's how. And but this all of these things happen very organically. I submitted the film in Busan. uh, it was a free submission, so yeah, that's how it got selected.
So how nervous are you? How excited are you for the premiere?
I am very excited. I am not nervous right now. Maybe I will get nervous as the days come closer. But right now, I'm really excited. I'm very, very happy and um, very excited to see how people react to it. This is going to be a very big day for me. So I think uh, nervousness is not there. Yeah, that's how I can put it. Not nervous at all right now.
Brilliant. So you might have seen a lot of films, and there might be a lot of favorite films and filmmakers that you like. So can you recommend few films, like favorite films
Yeah,
of yours?
yeah. Oh, very interesting thing. My most favorite filmmakers are going to be there in Busan this year. That's the most. That's the most exciting thing for me at this point. There is Jia Zhangke from China. He is one of my I admire him so much. And my favorite film is his film called Still Life, which I think was made in 2004 or 2000. I forgot the year, but Still Life by Jia Janke is my favorite film. I have shown it to all my crew members, and even during the pre-production, I was showing that film to as a reference of the kind of image that I wanted, that I was envisioning to my DOP. And very interestingly, this time they are showing that film in Busan, and Jia Janke will be there to have a question answer after that film. So I'm really excited about that. Then there is Simon Liang, who is also going to be there. Uh, Another very favorite filmmakers of mine is Hong Sang-soo. He's from South Korea, and he's a very different kind of a filmmaker. His films, are um, very personal and philosophical, and they are somehow uh, in a very I don't know, maybe spiritual kind of a zone. Maybe that is how I would define the word spiritual. That is how his films are. They're they don't talk about spirituality at all, maybe, but the way he looks at life and the way he connects himself with all these happenings in his life, and so that is I really admire Hong Sang-soo. There is Park Chan-wook, who is also from South Korea. There is Lee Chang-dong from South Korea. These two people are also coming this time. Then there is I really admire Kiarostami. Kiarostami is a filmmaker who is so difficult to understand and yet so easy to understand. His films are so layered. uh, like the way he looks at life, and then how he suddenly can so easily use cinematic tools like fourth wall breaking, or this kind of very complicated tools he can break so easily, and still take you inside the simplicity of his stories. So I really love Kiarostami that way. Yeah, there are a few to name. There is Simon Liang, Apichapong from Thailand. Um yeah, many filmmakers, but mostly I'm really attached to the Asian filmmakers. I really admire Asian filmmakers a lot, and I feel that they have really inspired, and they have they have really shown me life, you know, in a very different way than I had seen before. I also have, like, I feel that a lot of these filmmakers like Apichapong, um, the way they are talking about life. There is another filmmaker called Bigan. You might know Bigan is from China. His films. Then there is Jia Janke and Apichapong. All these filmmakers have something inner to them, which is very personal to me. I feel that the way I want to tell my stories, or the place I belong to, the rootedness is somewhere present in their films as well. There is a smell in their films which is very familiar to me. That is how I can put it.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So, Maharshi, my last question is like, I know you're very young and it's your first feature film. So, from your journey, like, what advice would you give to like someone who is trying to making a film or who wants to become a filmmaker? Like, from your filmmaking journey, and you've made this film. So, what advice would
Ah,
you give?
uh, it's very, actually, you're right. The first thing that you said is very right. I'm quite young to give gyan to people at this point. But still, I think there are lots of things that we understand at different stages in life. This shoot, um, the biggest thing that I learned in this shooting Kok Kok Kokoook was, um, being calm. Whatever happens, we have to be calm. Like the previous question you asked, the difficulties when we are shooting, it's innumerable. There are different kinds of, like, things that will go wrong when we are shooting. Not just because of the budget and time constraints are there in our shoot. Even if, like, bigger film, the greatest of filmmakers, even a Karan Johar when he's making a film, or even when a when someone like Christopher Nolan is making their film, they will still be not sure about what is going to work, or what is not going to work, or what is going to go wrong in the shoot. That is something that will always be constant. I think that is my biggest understanding and practical experience this time, that I was really calm, really calm. Whatever happened, I was calm. Previously, it was not like that. I used to get, anxious and hyper at certain points, and but eventually now I know the whole thing. It is not about getting what you have written on the screen. It is about getting something which you have not written, capturing something which is not there in the script, uh, exploring something which you had never thought before while writing the script. So in the shoot, there are lots of things that will not happen according to plan, and that is where the magic of cinema lies. That is how you tackle that, how you embrace that, how you know look forward even after all the things are going wrong in the shoot, and still that whatever I am thinking, all these people are believing in one thought, and we will be able to do it. We will be able to do it in any ways. Somehow it will happen. This belief, this very strong belief in yourself, that actually makes all the difference. I feel that is the most important thing that I have learned. Another very important thing that I should mention, I think, is that I learned something from our actor Raju Roy. So when we were, so there is a chicken in our film. So the chicken is another actor in the film. So the chicken was one of the most dangerous part when I was writing the script. My mentor Putul Mahmood, she was my screenplay writing mentor, and she has mentored me throughout the film as well. So she told me she loved the script in the script writing level, and she said that just remove this part. This will unnecessarily bring complications during the shoot, and you will be stuck with this chicken, and you'll not. I don't want you to anyway I don't want you to like leave shooting and keep running after a cock, chicken, it will be so it's a bizarre thought. So uh, I was also very scared that it's not going to work, but then I somehow had this was growing in me that whatever you believe strongly will happen, whatever you believe strongly will happen. Even Dominic keeps saying this, that if you believe something really, 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 you believe something, it will happen. And I kept believing that something will happen. But as the shoot came closer, there was something called practicality, right? It is not going to happen, so we bought two chicken which looked quite identical, and we gave one to Rajuda, our actor. So Rajuda took it for 20 days, and we kept on working on the script meanwhile, and we were all busy with all the shot division and producing part of the shoot and all of this. And he took the chicken and he was practicing by himself. So when the day of shoot came, he brought the chicken with him. To our surprise, if he said like this, the chicken will stand up. If he says like this, the chicken will sit down. The chicken was here, wherever he wanted to, however he wanted to. The chicken was just obeying him like anything, That didn't happen just by chance, It happened because of that intense connection that he built with the chicken. He really loved the chicken, man. He really loved it. He would never leave the chicken alone in the shoot. He'll always, even when he's having a scene without the chicken, he will keep it in a place and ask somebody particularly to sit and just look at take care of the chicken particularly during that time. He will take the chicken every day to back home. Even after the busy day of shoot, he will wrap it, and in his bike he will take the chicken home and again bring it next day, because he wouldn't trust anybody with the chicken. So so this magic happened, because of this kind of belief that people have, and this connections, that honest connections, this honesty. This honesty is the biggest thing that, you know honest connections, that can make anything happen. So that is another learning, very, very important learning I had. Even now, Rajuda keeps talking. He actually told me some 2 3 days back when we were talking. He told me, please tell about Bipasa. He named the chicken Bipasa. So he said that please talk about Bipasa in your interviews. I really miss her so much. She's not there anymore. So he keeps talking about Bipasa. We have a lot of videos of how Bipasa gave eggs, later in her life. So after the shoot, she was hatching eggs, and he had videos of that. And he used to keep sending me. So yeah, that is another thing that I learned, and I think these are very important things for me to take forward in my next films and in my life, to keep them intact in my life.